It was a crisp November morning. I was sitting at my desk using my computer when I got a message from one of my good friends, Craig. It read as follows. You look into your oversized mailbox and see a sneaky disc tucked away in the deepest, darkest crevice. You grab the disc and get an immediate goosebump on your lower left shoulder as you read what has been marked in red foreboding text. It say, destroy at all costs, please. You don't have my hammer. Text it. https www.curseforge.com Minecraft MC mods OOO.JAR. I am sending this spooky cursed disk containing a Minecraft.jar.exe file to you as a warning. Do not put the disk into your Razer USB with Bluetooth compatibility and multiple ports. I made the mistake of doing so on my own personal computer, and it ended very badly. My little brother walked up to the screen and started hitting the nasty nay-nay. We had to put him in mental asylum, and he deeded himself and wrote in his own blood 000.jar.exe. I don't have a hammer at home, and making me incapable of properly smashing this disc. Please do so. I feel a dark aura emanating from this disc. FNAF One Night 4 phone call guy. Well, this was alarming. There's something about me that needs to be stated. I'm a huge Minecraft fan. I own all of the merchandise, all of the games, and I have several alternative Minecraft accounts. Upon reading this, I disregard the message in favor of seeing what in the world this could contain. I mean, what's the worst a Minecraft mod can do? I've already gone through multiple computers at this point. I started up the game, and it seemed normal. When looked into the mod list, I saw the mod had an icon with a smiley face, while the title contained an upside-down star. I noted this as very peculiar and continued on to see what else was in store. I proceeded to create a new world simply titled, small, but I thought it would be a little goofy. The mod. I entered the world without much to consider. I got my wood, stone, and an iron tool from the first few minutes, when suddenly it started to get dark. Really dark. Searching for a place to stay, I ran by what I thought was a village. Suddenly, I noticed something out of the ordinary. The houses appeared to have a dark red moving substance, and a structure that looked similar to netherrack, along with the signs placed all over them. This baffled me, since they normally aren't like this in normal Minecraft. What could be causing this? I pondered thoughtfully. As well as that, signs were strewed around the small city. I paid no attention to them. As I ran into the building, I proceeded to mine one block. It took around 5.35 seconds. Upon doing so, I heard the door to the house open and tried to hide, but the door didn't open. I attempted to mine the block next to it, but it didn't happen again. Strange, I thought. I said out loud to no one in particular. After experiencing all of this, I attempted to rest in the bed. Doing so didn't seem to cause anything strange, so I proceeded outside again. Looking at the rest of the village, all of the houses had that substance all over them. It was like an infection took over the whole village. Taking the time to read the signs, they all followed the same pattern. A player username, a message, and then a date. They said things along the lines of, "This is familiar to me," or "WTF," or Herobrine. What was the most interesting to me, though, was that some of the messages seemed to date back to 2012. How could that be? I never heard of anything like this happening. How old was this mod? Suddenly, a figure appeared out of nowhere. It frightened me so much, I screamed at the top of my lungs. I paused the game, and was able to get a good enough look at it. It seemed to be a player with a villager skin, but the skin didn't have a face. What was most evident to me, though, was the fact that it did 7 hearts of damage in one hit. I knew that when I was on pause, I would have to fight for my life. I readied myself and hit the escape button. When doing so, I stepped back and saw the figure started running after me, swinging my sword. I was backed into a corner when I noticed it didn't appear to be attacking me. I was right up next to it. Attacks didn't do anything. It just stared at me. This, of course, was quite frightening. Then out of nowhere, it disappeared. What the actual shit fuck just happened? I yelled out loud. No response. This is when I began to realize that my friend Craig might have been right. This might not have been a good idea to play. But having gone this far already, I knew that this man might have been hiding secrets to questions I could never have even thought. So I proceeded to keep playing. I decided to take a break and gather materials to fight back against these entities, seeing as the last one was able to almost fully kill me. I knew that I had to get some serious gear. I began mining. I was able to obtain an almost full set of iron gear without anything notable happening. It was almost as if the rules of the game were reversed, as if caves felt a lot less deadly knowing these entities were lurking around. With my new set of armor and tools, I knew I was ready to set out and explore what in the world was wrong. I had a gut feeling it had to do specifically with villages considering my last encounter, so I set out to explore and find another one. A long journey ensued, when I suddenly saw what appeared to be a floating arrow in the sky. I knew that must have had something to do with the mod. Upon getting closer, I saw them. The villagers seemed to be floating in the sky. That's when I realized that wasn't an arrow. That was an upside-down cross. I knew I had to explore. Getting closer, unlike the last village, this one didn't have any signs around it. It was almost normal. Well, except for the villagers. I decided I would try attacking them. Not that they did anything wrong, but maybe there is a way to help them get down. I built up a 1x1 tower to a villager. It just floated there, motionless. Attacking it didn't do anything. I couldn't even trade with it. I was about to dig back down when suddenly the faceless villager appeared. It punched me off the tower. I yelled, "Fuck!" I would have died, but thankfully my armor was able to reduce most of the damage. The faceless villager didn't go after me this time. It just stared at me from the top of my tower before disappearing. I decided to leave the area as quickly as possible. I saw something else in the distance anyway. It looked like a grid of several floating villagers. I went over to check it out. Closer inspection, they didn't look like villagers. I couldn't tell what they were, so I tried climbing up when suddenly something appeared. This thing, this horrifying, disgusting monstrosity was placed before me. I could feel this aura of pain, suffering, and everything ugly in the world. The feeling you get when you see a horrible accident unfold before your eyes. When you make a mistake so horrible, you never take it back. It proceeded to walk around me. I was powerless. I couldn't even look away. It was as if it had taken control of my mouse, or my hand itself. As it struck across my screen, I felt it. I realized what this was the creature that was tormenting me. That had taken me to its own personal hell to show me what it had done to get here. For once in my life, I felt true, uncapped fear, and just like that, it was gone. I started running. I knew I had to get away. I knew that it was my only option if I wanted to get out alive. Not in the game, but in real life. But before I knew it, a simple wooden plank house was put in front of me. It was juvenile in nature, a reprise of an era long forgotten. It felt safe compared to what was out there. I ran in, not thinking much of what I was doing. Looking around, it was simple. Cobblestone floor, oak plank roof, and some basic use blocks. Except the walls. The damn walls were covered by the damned moving netherrack blocks. That's when I realized I had fallen into its trap. Out of the blue, the smiley figure appeared in front of me. The text chat span was "Get out of my game, get out of my game, get out of my game," in hyper-realistic looking red and black text. It started to walk around me again. I couldn't stop staring. The figure started to hurt as I fought back against the creature. I knew that in that very moment that if I didn't find a way out, I might not survive. I tried breaking whatever was trapping me, but nothing happened. I was doomed to this purgatory forever when suddenly it stopped. The sounds, the creature, it was all gone. I stared around the room, listening. I began to walk out when I noticed it. I saw it. I knew this was false freedom. I knew that the demonic fucker was just tormenting me for the sake of my own suffering. I wanted to show I wasn't going down without a fight, so I took my pick and I mined the block. Then I heard it. Something behind me. As I began to turn around, Disco Evans started playing in reverse behind me. For God knows how long, was a soft, marketable plush toy version of the smiley creature. It had black eyes, dripping with blood, with a note attached. Surprise. OOO.JAR.EXE.plushie. I didn't know how much time I had left. All I can say is that whoever is reading this, do not play this mod. This unimaginable horrors that appear when you do will be your fall. Please do not play this mod.